says I am live. Hi, how's it going? Hopefully, all is well with you and yours. I'm having a great day. I'm actually not in Mount Shasta this weekend ish. I am in Orlando, Florida. A friend of mine had a conference going on here, and I got invited to come and hang out. And so I was like, sweet, that sounds really cool. I've never been to Disney, and that's actually where the conference is taking place. So yeah, I've been checking out this like resort area. The Disney's stuff is massive. Obviously, I don't support um, the Disney franchise. I didn't pay for any of this, so yeah. But that being said, like even after waking up and finding out so many horrible things about Disney and all of this stuff. Those of us that were raised with the movies and all this stuff, there's probably residual binding magic for a lot of people. So I'm kind of excited to see what the most magical place on earth is. But earlier I was walking behind one of the stages that's set up in their conference area, and just the like backdoor passages and all this stuff. Like I don't want to even think about what kind of negative things could go on under the surface or even on top of the surface. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely would love to see some good things change and like some good things come about in the change as we go into the golden age and come out of this darkness. I love the concept of Disney World and all of these like themed amusement parks and cartoons and just all of that stuff. So if we could do positive things in the same stride, I guess, just to have fun things like this. I love amusement parks. I've been to a few amusement parks this summer, mostly obviously in California. But yeah, I love roller coasters and adrenaline and having fun and all that. So definitely one of the things I look forward to in the golden age is amusement parks and more of them, and concert hall like concert venues that just have concerts going all of the time. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the golden age and all of the fun things that we get to experience and create and have. So hopefully you're looking for it as well. David D is here. Hey David, how's it going? Aspect 671, how are you? Hey Raven, how's it going? Good day from LA. I feel Shasta calling me for a road trip this summer. That would be awesome. I haven't had posted anything about my full moon schedule yet for this summer. So we'll see how that goes. But I think the first full moon is in July. So yeah, would love to meet you. Kyle says, hey, how's it going? Kyle asks, where are you on vacation? I'm at Disney World actually, and I'm pretty excited. With the conference, they were giving people like tickets for one of the nights to go to the park from like to one of the, well, there's like a lot of different parks. So anyways, I'm going to the Magic Kingdom, and I'm pretty excited to see what it is. And like I was saying, like just making things good. Okay, I guess I'm struggling for the words, but it does, like, we can, not everything has to be destroyed, I guess is my point. There's been really great like strides in development that we've had as human species, obviously not compared to what they had in the golden ages of the past, these ancient civilizations that were really advanced and knew so much more than us. I'm sure that they had a lot of fun entertainment and stuff. And we definitely need to channel whatever they were doing too and have that in our reality again. But I'm super excited about amusement parks in the golden age. I'd love to make my own. Dustin. Hey, Dustin, how's it going? Much love. Thanks for everything you do for us all. Aw, thanks. I appreciate that. So yeah, I am traveling this week until like next Friday or so. And then the week after that is Easter weekend. My party is going to be on the 19th at 2 o'clock. And actually, I just added a little thing to the party. Like, why not screen Christspiracy again? Because it's going to be Easter. So we're going to have a little bit of an Easter get together. And I actually ordered some chocolate fountains. So I can have a chocolate fountain and actually a cheese fountain as well. And just go to town on different things that people can dip in these fun things. And yeah, then we'll have the Christspiracy after that. So hopefully it's a good crowd. As most of you guys already know, I hosted a Christspiracy already, and I didn't really get to watch the whole thing. Like, I just got to watch bits and pieces because I was hosting and like running around and trying to make sure that people were okay and have what they needed and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to actually see the documentary in full without interruptions. So hopefully you guys have seen it. I'm pretty sure that you can just log on to get on to christspiracy.org, is it? And watch it for free on there. So I definitely encourage you to do that. I'll see about, I don't know. I tried to like live stream it the last time, but the internet over there where I do it is not very good. So I am not going to make any promises about live streaming to have you guys there. But we'll see. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Kyle asked, did you buy the extra features in your account for Christspiracy? I actually haven't even made the account. I was just doing the preliminary, like you can, there's options that other people have paid it forward so that you can watch it on like they paid for it. But there's also other features like Kyle's mentioning that you can pay for and own the movie yourself. So definitely would encourage you to do that. As always, the Gospel of the Holy 12, if you haven't checked that out yet, you can read it online for free. But this book is the reason that I went vegan. I was studying Passover and God led me to this. And then I went vegan. So yeah, we'll talk more about that probably in the upcoming live stream about Easter and all that fun stuff. So yeah, Easter's actually on Sunday. Is it always on Sunday? I don't know. Anyways, so Easter will be the Sunday after my party, obviously. Anyways, new shirt. Pretty stoked about it. I got some new vegan clothes for the trip. If you're gonna be walking billboard, you might as well do it planting seeds everywhere that you go with the vegan stuff on your clothing. You don't even have to talk to people and they get the message. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. And I'm actually going to be going to a little welcoming party thing that they have going on at it's 3 o'clock here right now. And I think it's at 5 or something. So I was thinking about throwing on a dress and going and making a public appearance. So we'll see. Kyle says the pay it forward options come with extra features the more you pay it forward. I pay it forward enough to get extended interviews. Oh, that's cool. I know in the video they didn't really focus too much on the Essenes, which I think would have been so powerful. But yeah, so hey Lisa, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. So I don't want to spend the whole time on the allegations, but I did want to address what was being said to me. Oh, it's by you, Lisa. Haha, that's fun. Let me turn on the air conditioner really quick. Okay, whoever did all of like the design work in these spaces just was really awesome. So anyways, most of you already know that people try to make all sorts of allegations against me. I've just been dealing with this for years, but I understand once you go and start, saying, hey, that's an invert, this is an invert, this is an invert, people are going to just say, like, you can, anytime that you try to go and tell people that their famous celebrity, their crush or whatever is this or that. They'll either say, that's what you are, you're jealous, just basically anything to dismiss what you're saying and, protect their illusion, their delusions, right? Their crushes, their heroes, whatever. Um, so definitely take into consideration anyone who's making the allegations, that they aren't accusing you or me or whatever, or someone else of what they themselves are guilty of. I've put all my biomarkers online, like so many, like, I don't know. I never would have pictured myself ever posting anything nude online ever. And then I got into a situation where people were like, you need to prove who you are. And so I'm like, okay. And I have posted just so much. And it's really frustrating because no matter how much I post, these inverts are going to continue to lie about me. They already know that I'm a real girl, and they're just liars, right? They're put into the community. Well, not put, it's not like anyone necessarily. Obviously, there's different groups. There's people that are put in places, right? The planted, right? Or there's just inverts that are just naturally. First of all, they want to know what we know. So they need to be in the transvestigation groups trying to see what real humans know and see if they pass anymore. They want to be your teachers. They want to be the experts. They want to have control being in those positions as well, even if they're not like the big names of, the flat earth groups and just, the big names. So a lot of these people, I definitely would suggest you looking into them. I'm pretty sure that some of these allegations are coming because of Poncho Pete, which has become pretty popular in the transvestigation community. They mainly focus on these facial overlays. And I'm not sure if they even knew me before, but I went on one of them and I was like, you're manipulating the overlay to push an agenda. Like, that person is an invert, but you're using the skull overlays in an inconsistent manner to push an agenda that you're trying to push rather than the truth of the matter. And so that was, I like I said, I didn't know them before this. But when I called them out for using these unrighteously, then they started to attack me and join the crowd of people. So I know for sure that my skull overlay has been done by them. But I have another friend on Facebook who does them and I was trying to look it up, but it was a while back. It sent me the picture of my own and it was female. So it's like the people that are doing it have an agenda. So anyways, I've already proved my biomarkers. So you're not some gatekeeper or something, or one of their inverted agents. If anything, I go and kick the gates down. Like, I'm the gate opener. I am happy to tell you guys the truth. I don't have like special information that I haven't shared with you. I'm not holding anything back. I love being able to especially bring new like channeled information and present it to humanity, because I want humans to come out of the dark ages that we're in, out of this ignorance and this pitiful depravity that we've fallen into as a species. Like, it's not something to be proud of to be a human when a humanity has. Where is the humanity? Our humanness has been taken from us in so many different ways. Not necessarily taken, but like we've been programmed against it, starting from birth, even with how we treat animals, right? Like, the natural reaction for a kid is like, oh, there's an animal, let me go hug it. Like, it's not, let me take a knife and slit its throat and chop it up into pieces and eat it. And that's one of the biggest things I think that takes our compassion, our humanity away from us is the meat eating, all of it. And one of the quotes that's attributed to the Buddha, that basically says that eating meat robs you of the seed of compassion. And that's so true, because when you're eating not only is the act itself of eating animals not compassionate towards them, but you're eating all of that anger and that anxiety, all of the negative things that animal has experienced in its life, that trauma that's built up in all of its body parts. You're eating that. violence, rape, abuse. Someone in another room is knocking on the side. You're eating all of that, and you become what you eat. You take on all of that stuff. It'll be really interesting to see what the golden age is like without not only just the meat eating, but also with the media not being turned against us. The powers that be don't give us entertainment for our entertainment. They're not like, oh, we don't want our great little goyim to be bored, do we? No, they don't. Like, that's not their goal. Their goal is to put you in front of give you your circus and peanuts, and make sure that the circus is drag monsters that are corrupting you in the worst ways possible and basically dragging you to hell, right? So as far as my gait goes, for those who don't know, gait, G-A-I-T, when you're walking, this was the next comment in here. What about your gait? I've posted a music video that shows me walking, and I could probably look here for you as well. If it's back far enough. Okay, can you see me? Okay, so when you're walking, your gait is showing, but I actually love tight pants because you can see how female my Q angle is. Like, males, your top bones tend to be a lot more straight, and that's because females need more support for a baby, and males don't. When you have your straight femurs, there's just different qualities that males have that females don't. But that being said, Lisa, will put, there's a lot of stairs around here, so I was thinking earlier that I could get some actual footage and maybe put together a little bit of a video that's mainly focused on that. So, my breath. So yeah, I'll show you that later. So Lisa also said, I know those skull check things are really dumb sometimes since they're not 100% accurate. What about your neck as well? I mean, the trachea is sort of visible, kind of. Well, sort of visible, kind of. I'm not hiding anything. So it's like, what you see is what you get. I have never had an Adam's apple. It's really irritating that people will see someone wearing a choker and then assume that it has to do with an Adam's apple, as if someone did have an Adam's apple and they put something really tight, a piece of jewelry over their Adam's apple, that would not feel good. Like, it's really stupid. Anyways. Yeah, that's not what Lisa's saying. I'm saying that people in the community say it. And then I'm like, look at all of the other videos when I don't have the choker on. Like, they expect that the people that they're lying to aren't going to go and do any research or homework investigation for themselves. And they'll just keep lying, and they don't care. They lie about their sex. They'll lie about anything to you. So the other allegation that I wanted to address, Lisa said in one of your Facebook in one of the Facebook posts in one of your groups, a post had stated that you were making fun of frazzle drip victims because you had a white and blue striped box in the background or something. Okay, so first of all, I've never watched frazzle drip. I would never make fun of any sort of child or innocent abuse at all. Like, that's a way to get me really fired up really quickly, is to abuse innocence in any way, shape, or form. I never watched the video. I don't know. I mean, I know the concept of what it is. So let's just say that to begin with, anytime that any children or animal is getting hurt, like, I'm going to stand up and fight the person that's hurting them. So, okay, I need to get a little calm down because it really makes me mad. And then stuff like animal sacrifice to Ishtar. When someone loves babies and you go and sacrifice, you erect a statue for them and then you sacrifice babies to them, that is trying to piss them off. Like, and I mean, they sacrifice animals to God. They, all of this stuff, right? So all of these entities, even Sophia, who is an occult symbol, Baphomet is an occult symbol for Sophia. Sophia is all physical matter. She's the birds, she's the trees, she's the males, she's the females. She's all physical matter. Every single piece of physical matter is her. So these occultists made the depiction of Baphomet to represent her. And obviously we know that that symbology of her has been taken and used for great evil. I'm not saying that the evil is great, but I'm saying like a great amount, like a vast amount of evil. So yeah, it's just things to really make people angry, and that's what they do. Even Christ, they turned him into a fish-eating blood sacrifice when he would not put the flesh of innocence in his mouth. He was not a sinner. He was a man of God. He knew his purpose. He was here to show us how to live the Creator's way, right? He's a prophet of God. That's what his purpose was. So it's obvious to me that he would have had to be in line with what God's will is. And that never changed from the Garden of Eden. The cows are his creation too. He loves animals and he loves humans. He loves all of the species that he created, and didn't create any of us to be like, he didn't create animals for us to use and abuse. They have their own purpose. And part of that is just being awesome on, like, I don't know, a world without cows sounds really, really sad to me. These species don't exist for us. So, yeah. Regarding the actual box that you're talking about, in some of my older videos, my oldest videos actually have a little green box around them. I took like an eyedropper and got a color of my eye, and that was the box for a while. And then I wanted to upgrade my channel. And at first it was just going to be a blue border. And then I was like, oh, well, 3 is more powerful of a number. So I put three boxes inside of each other. And then needed white to fill the space. That was literally as much thought went into picking that blue and white thing. And that's it. So it's kind of like irritating that someone would that people just make up lies. They don't care what the truth is. So anyways. Okay, that was kind of the main bulk of the allegations, I think. So hopefully, Lisa, I was able to clear up some of those things for you. And I need to stop thinking about child abuse because it really makes me angry. We'll tap in here. Okay. Hey, Bob, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Raven says, I recommend the light show at Epcot. Interesting. I was at the Swan in Orlando in January running AV for a cybersecurity conference. Oh, cool. Everyone was great. Only Disney PR and TSA were odd vibes there. Oh, okay. We only we were only allowed to pick one park. And I don't know anything about the parks. I actually don't know anything really about Disney culture, besides for, growing up with Beauty and the Beast and Snow White. So that was about the extent of it. My family's not like a Disney family. We didn't have a bunch of like Disney stuff or ever go to Disney World or Land or any of that stuff. So it's, I don't know. And even if I was still in the Matrix, I'm like, I don't think that I would want like my kids. I don't know. It's just interesting to be here and to know what I know, and also to still have some of the residual programming. It's like, it's hard to get rid of everything. And even when you wake up, like some of your favorite musicians might still be it's hard to pull away from them because you spent so long bonding with them, right? Every time you go and you hit play on your headphones and you're listening to that music, you're making a bond with that person. And it can be hard to break away from. So, yeah. Bob says, greetings from Vancouver. The weather is presently overcast with light rain, which is a contrast to the last 2 days of sunshine. Spring has sprung with the daffodils in bloom everywhere. Oh, that sounds really, really pretty. That's the best. Well, not the best, but, flowers are awesome. I was going to say it's the best part of spring, but I don't know. I think like baby cows and babies would probably be up higher on my list. David D says, you get attacked as an invert even though you have shown your biomarkers over and over again. Exactly. And they'll take pictures of me like in weird poses and be like, oh, look at this, she has a flat back, or just like weird stuff. That's not righteous judgment. So hopefully you guys will judge me righteously. Even my Facebook banner is my profile, is my flaring hips, so that it's like, you really don't have to do much work. I try to make it easy, because if I was not me, I would want the same thing, right? For me, anytime I come across anybody's stuff, it's like, I probably, like, first of all, I don't watch videos or anything, but if I was, that would be my first thing, is like, is this person an invert or not? Because that's kind of one of the most fundamental deciding factors of if I'm going to trust them or listen to what they have to say, because inverts will tell you the truth to an extent, but they mix it with the lies so that they can, I don't know. It's all lies is hard for them to convince you with, but if they mix it with the truth, some of it hits in your core as true, and some of it doesn't. So, yeah. Lisa says, are there inverts in the transvestigation community? Definitely. I think a lot of the most popular ones are, with the biggest followings. And like I was saying, that they're the ones that need to know if we can see them or not. Unfortunately, I think most of the community is not real humans, because the humans that have actually woken up to this truth, it's just not pretty small, but it is actually. It's kind of discouraging, even with any of the truther factions. It's just like a lot of the growth is stifled too, because once you wake up, you get it put into the little bubble of the algorithms with this group of people, and the other people don't see as much of your stuff. And so, yeah, it's hard, but thankfully people are still waking up. I've gotten, comments recently on my own transvestigation video saying, thanks for this. And so that's really cool, because it's so many years later, but, people are still waking up. Hey, people are walking by looking at me. Lisa says, I don't really like Poncho P. He's really loud and rude and immature. Yeah, I've actually had some other people say kind of a similar story to me, is that I tried to tell them that they were using the facial overlays, and they just started attacking me. So it's just like, why this, I don't know, just default attacking of people for not agreeing with you, and it doesn't matter what their biomarkers say, you're going to call them an invert no matter what. And it's just not righteous judgment, and it really muddies the water a lot, and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, because you're a real human and you want to go and help and wake other people up, and then all of a sudden all of these people are attacking you, and they're constantly attacking you no matter how much evidence you give, and they're attacking you, you give evidence, and then they're like, whoa, you protest too much, it must be true. It's like, what? Just like the most manipulative behavior ever. So, but they're dudes in dresses, so that's kind of their game, is David D says the transvestigation community is majority inverts. Exactly. And Bob says to David, I think you could be right. Yeah. Lisa says, I don't understand how there would be any inverts in the transvestigation community. And David said, one of the group rules for transvestigation disclosure now is no transvestigating of group members. We had to do this to keep the group. Yeah, exactly. Because people will, whether they're in the community or out, they'll come into the groups and just start attacking other people, posting people's pictures in the comments. Their favorite celebrity gets posted, so they come into the group and like, hey, let me post your picture now too. Which, like David Z says, is just gonna put the group at risk of getting taken down for bullying. Thankfully, with the public figures, we can say whatever we want. We can bully them up this side of the road and down the other, and it doesn't matter. But we can't do it to real people that'll go and file a complaint. I've never reported anybody that posts me, that lies about me, or any of this stuff. But I don't really believe in reporting on Facebook, because that's just going to come back and bite you in the bum. That's bad karma, unfortunately. Yeah. David, he says, David and Lisa are having a conversation about the conversation, and Kyle says, some random YouTube person thinks I'm a female just because I was moderating one day. In here, you mean? Because that makes sense. Especially, like, everyone, it's just annoying. So Bob says, hey, Lisa, you'd be amazed at the extent of infiltration by the dark side as the blanket expression for the satanic forces working against us. Yeah, that's a really good point there, Bob. That's what their MO is, right? Infiltrate and corrupt, try to get in there and get control. And so many like religions have happened that way. I love to look at the origins of religions and really see what was there before now, and even Freemasonry in the book The Lost Continent of Mu by James Churchward. Talks about how their religion was Freemasonry, and it was just the not like understanding the grand architect of this realm, and the square and the compass as the four corners of the earth, like all of these things have to do with creation, and ultimately they were worshiping the creator. And as we see today, they've gone way down the other path, right, where the people at the souls at the top, whether they're people or non-humans, are very corrupt, right, at the top. And obviously there's going to be corruption throughout, like most organizations and stuff these days. But I do think that there's like good people at the bottom that don't really know what is going on. And I'm not sure that it's a shame, actually. But even with Christianity and how the Essene Christians, the original followers of the way, first they were vegan. They tried to separate themselves very distinctively from the way of the world. They lived in smaller communities in different like there was, from what I've read, an inner group, and then there was like an outer group, and the inner group really stayed only with the Essenes, and the outer group maybe went into the world a little bit, and they were maybe trying to get into the inner workings. But you have to go through different purification rituals. And yeah, it's really cool to read some of the Essene sciences, because they were so knowledgeable about just the human body and all of the mechanisms in it, and it's just really cool. So their stuff is actually for free online. I think if you go to, let me just look it up for you, actually. Maybe it's not that. Okay, so the Octagon Society, I'll just put, okay, this link will take you to a few different things there. There's some more Essene manuals. Whoops, that was not the right button. Okay. Why isn't this working? I'm using a Mac, and Macs are stupid. It's kind of funny because when I went to college, I was like adamant that I was gonna have a MacBook, and then I had a dog for a little while, and the dog spilled my water on my MacBook, so it died. Okay, here's the link coming to you slowly but surely. Cool. Sweet. It's hot in here. Okay, David says, Lisa, the thing to focus on is that Inanna is real and she's leading us to a real future. Swarms of infiltrating inverts changes nothing. Okay, I agree. Lisa says, thank you. And could you please transvestigate the wizard Liz? I'm so curious to know if they are real or not. Okay, let's just bring them up now. Is this on YouTube or the wizard Liz? This just looks like a whoa. I was gonna say a lady. Isn't that what they call them? Lady boys in Thailand or something. So yeah, I can definitely look at their thing and maybe post some pictures and stuff to the group later. If they have like an Instagram or something, I can do that for you. Aspect 671 says Disney today is woke. And isn't that also interesting how they've like taken being awake and like demonized, like you don't want to be woke, but obviously I know they're talking about a completely different thing, right? But it's just kind of interesting to me as like being in the awakened community, and then all of a sudden like this thing starts. We're like, oh, everyone's woke, and I don't know, just kind of interesting. So Aspect 671 says gender is obvious in the face. Your critics are just trolling you or they are blind. Yeah, and I like my side profile especially is just so like all of my biomarkers are female, so I don't know. That being said, I do judge myself as an athletic build female. I don't have any pictures with my sister, and she wouldn't want to be posted anyways. But like I am an athletic build, and she's a little bit shorter than me, and like more just round in general. So not fat, but just softer features. And so yeah, it's interesting because not everyone has the same cut body. But even with all the different shapes and sizes, we still have these specific biomarkers that anthropologists use. It's tried and true science. When they come upon a skeleton, they're going to take in all of these different factors into account, like the angle of their femur, like I was talking about earlier, just like even the length of your torso, how short or tall it is, and different things. So obviously when it's not a skeleton and when there's muscles attached and stuff, we can also use those to help, because males tend to have more square and long muscles, tend to, like I said, and on the female side, they're more soft and round and even shorter. So there's just really cool ways that God made us different. And yeah, I love God's design. I think he knew what he was doing. So cool. Kyle says, yeah, in here, I sent you the video, that one about 2 months ago. Oh, okay. I must have watched it if you send it to me, because I think I vaguely remember talking to you about that now, actually. So that's cool. Yeah. So I wanted to also show you guys some books that I got. I haven't really gone too far into it, but this one's called 12 Steps to Raw Foods, How to End Your Dependency on Cooked Foods. These are books that I brought on vacation with me, so that's kind of where I'm focusing. I scheduled a week-long group fast at the end of the month. So if anyone wants to join in, maybe you're not ready to do a week of, without food or something, but you can always choose something else to give up for a week, and just try to purify a little bit more. So I would definitely encourage you to join in wherever you're at in your journey, and purify with me. So yeah, I think this book was, let me just skim through really quick and see. Oh, actually, me and a friend were just talking about this earlier about microwaves. This person actually said that when they lived in Russia, they couldn't even have one because Russian scientists performed research and found out that microwave ovens are very harmful. For this reason, microwave ovens are prohibited in Russia. That's interesting. So, yeah. I think that this person was basically saying that greens are very important in your diet, and so they started basically making green smoothies. And if they have it in the back, I'll share it with you, the actual recipe. But basically, they're talking about how chimps at the zoo, chimps consume 40% greens. That corresponds to 2 bunches of greens per day from the supermarket displays for humans. And then basically, they just go on to say that after they started doing all of this purifying and drinking green smoothies, that their desire for cooked foods just completely went away. And I definitely have seen when I do fasting and stuff, the cravings start to move to like, now I'm craving fruit, and things can change. Our bodies are constantly wanting to heal themselves and return back to the original blueprint of our creator, to be that perfect god or goddess that you are. We just keep getting in the way. So it makes so much sense that over time, once you start to purify, you're going to start recalibrating so many things and just rewiring yourself to want different things. So I'm super excited for that. I can definitely, I don't know. I know it's going to be a lot of hard work, but it's going to be what's the best for me in the long run. So yeah. Kyle, I actually got this book at the Zephyr bookstore in Wairika, and I also got this one there as well. Pretty much anytime I go to Wairika, I got to stop there and see what they have, because they got all sorts of, I've gotten vegan cookbooks and parenting books and just a bunch of stuff there that's just, this book right here was $3.95. Woohoo! It's called Leaves from the Tree of Life, Vegetarian Whole Foods Cookery and Health Manual. So this is actually has a lot of quotes by Ellen White, who started the Seventh-day Adventist Church. They're actually vegetarian by default, like that's their church thing. And it's kind of interesting because you're like, oh, vegetarian, okay. But then you open it up and it's like grains, fruits, nuts, and vegetables constitute the diet chosen for us by our Creator. These foods, prepared in a simple and natural a manner as possible, are the most healthful and nourishing. They impact a strength, a power of endurance, and a vigor of intellect that are not afforded by a more complex and stimulating diet. So it's really cool because even in here it talks about, it does go on to talk about animal proteins and eggs and milk as well. But yeah, it's a vegan book in general. So I'm pretty excited about this. It has a bunch of recipes in the back as well. So if you can get your hands on this one, I would definitely suggest it. It goes through these different, I think they're called the 8 truths of health, maybe. Nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, and trust. So it's really cool. And then it does go through a bunch of different like vitamins and proteins and all this other kind of stuff that if you're looking for some information, this book is really great. So I haven't really jumped into it completely yet, but it's got some diagrams, and the fact that it's like promoting the Creator and has that spiritual aspect is really, really cool too. So Leaves from the Tree of Life by Lee Heisman and Mildred Tillotson. I don't know if that's her name, but yeah. Hey, Big P, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. David D says, so when are you going to ride a Disney roller coaster? I believe the park tickets are for Tuesday night, so it'll be a minute. But the resort that I'm at now is the Coronado Springs Resort, and they have a water slide over there by the pool. They got like right outside my door pretty much is a little pickleball net set up, which is fun. It's massive, and there's so much, even just in the conference center area though. I'm just like taking it all in because whoever designed this place, just like, wow, it's really cool. Especially there's like a lot of blues and stuff over there. So I'm definitely loving the ambiance. Kyle, if you do find the Amazon link, you can post it in here if you want. But yeah, David D says, yep, I'm ready. Let's do this. Do you plan on doing any preliminary fasting or anything leading up to the week, or are you just going to dive right in? I am definitely going to need to do some at least intermittent fasting, if not a day or two, like in a row to build up, because it's been a while since I fasted and it can be intense, especially when like food is such a dependency issue. I really wish that I could say that it's not, but yeah, I can't. So hopefully this book will help. And it's frustrating too, because I already have the knowledge. I just need to enact it, right? To use the knowledge and actually do what I need to do. David D says, maybe a day or two light to no food before beginning. That definitely sounds like a good plan. I'm probably going to try to do some fruit only fasting until up into that as well, just so that like fruit is very detoxifying. If you start eating a lot of fruit, a lot of changes are going to happen in your body. You might go through a healing crisis where some underlying issues are really brought to the surface. And people in the fruitarian groups will say, fruit, fruit, fruit. And well, I shouldn't say fruitarian, I should say raw. They'll say that to kind of slow down the detox a little bit, you can add vegetables and other, some less watery fruitiness. So yeah, I'm gonna start experimenting more with that and really pushing myself, because I know that I'm holding myself back and it's frustrating. So I'll keep you informed on my journey, my slowly but surely coming along fruitarianism. Kyle, the raw fruit book is by Victoria Butenko. Boutenko. I don't know. So Boutnenko. Hopefully you're not driving. So yeah. Oh, this is cool. There's a forward in this book by an author of Rainbow Green Live Food, Cuisine and Spiritual Nutrition. That book might be interesting to read as well, because there's a direct correlation with our enlightenment and our spiritual level, awareness, state. I don't know. As I've said before, your soul and your physical are just intertwined. So if you're going this way and you're purifying yourself, if you're eating pure foods, your soul is getting purified along with your body. If you're eating corrupt things, you're corrupting your soul with your body. So they're both connected. You can't go opposite ways with them. So yeah. Hopefully you guys will jump on board and fast with me, but I think I'm going to get off of here because I am going to go to this little welcome party soon, and I'm going to put a dress on and get all dolled up for no reason, just to go and walk through a crowd of people. So we'll see what happens. All right. Well, I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bob says, I cannot contain my excitement about what will be happening in Mount Shasta this summer with multiple events. Yeah, I'm excited that you're going to come, and looking forward to seeing what other events that you're going to be involved in and potentially meeting some of the people that you're meeting up with. So at this time, I am scheduled to reside in Mount Shasta for the entire month of July. Oh, that's so cool. So then you'll probably be around for my full moon event if you don't have anything else scheduled. Let's see, July full moon. Thursday, July 10th. So the mountain definitely should be open by then. I think they usually open the gate around July 4th. Well, after July 4th, because we can't celebrate our independence with an open gate. It has to be shut. We can't have freedoms to celebrate our freedom. Bob says, I am a Karuk who bleeds maple syrup, but can quote long passages of the Constitution of the... Oh, Canuck. I totally saw an R. Okay, that's not good. But can quote long passages of the Constitution. Oh, that's cool. My family, I came from a patriotic background. My uncle used to do, like, before church, have a like a little patriot class and teach people about the Constitution and all that kind of stuff. Very interesting. I'm not sure how, legit all of that stuff is, because I don't believe that the founding fathers were good souls. I don't know. It's just hard to, I don't do anything really patriotic anymore. I love America, but I'm not like, I don't believe that any country is the best country in the world. Like, there's some really beautiful places in a lot of other countries. And during the golden age, we should be able to travel freely and enjoy the world, because ultimately we're all citizens of the world. And that's what we should be, proud of, rather than having these. I mean, it's not that you shouldn't be proud of like where you come from and your heritage and all this stuff. Cool. But the fact that we're so divided and, going to war and all this like territorial, possession of it is what is causing a problem. And yeah, there's a lot of different agendas, obviously, that are going on where immigrants are being put in different places to disrupt cultures and all this stuff. I understand being territorial of your home. I get that. But at some point we need to have a bigger mentality or bigger perspective of it, and not be killing each other, and like, I hate you because you're from that country, or because you're that skin color, or even because you're the opposite sex as me. So yeah. Kyle posted the book link. Thank you. Bob says, it will be my good fortune to be in the good old US of A on July 4th. Oh, cool. So you're going to celebrate, maybe catch some fireworks and have a vegan hot dog. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off of here, and I'll talk to you next week, if not before. I don't know. If I get bored sometime, maybe I'll go walk around and show you guys what the place looks like. So we'll see. Until then, may God and the goddess bless you. Have a wonderful week.